Good afternoon, everybody. Brother Sister Podcast. Brother here.
Sister's here.
And we are ready to talk about dating. Specifically first dates, but dating in general. Because Stacy's suffering a little bit. She's being a scared little bitch.
I don't know if I'm ready for dating yet.
Doesn't know how to handle it today.
I don't know if I'm ready to put myself out there yet.
Well,
but
that's
there's
totally
going to
fine
come a
too.
time.
Exactly. And you got to be ready for it. And you need to become accustomed to the way that it works these days because it's very different.
In context, yes. I have been out of the dating world for so long before all this stuff in Snapchat and
Tinder
it's just a
and
little
dating apps.
different. Yes, and it's a scary world out there.
It's very different. And I'm a fan of the dating apps.
But you like dating.
I do like dating. I like dating a lot. Everybody's different. I thoroughly enjoy going on first dates. But, I'm more comfortable around women than I am around men. And that's because I lived with you and Mom until I was 14. So I went through puberty living with two women. So I knew what tampons were when I was 5 years old. I understand that girls shit and have diarrhea and burp, and they're just as gross as guys are. So I've just always had this way of developing comfort around women because I have it. So for me, if I'm talking to some random guy at work or, wherever, I can kind of like bullshit with him for a couple minutes, but then I don't have anything else to say. I can run into some random secretary at a dentist office, and if she's a woman, I can sit there and have a 45-minute long conversation with her, no problem. But you're that way with men.
Yeah, and that's having three brothers and being, the princess. But having three brothers and just being more comfortable around men. And
you're social like Dad.
And very social.
You were very social, I should say.
But opposite, like I feel like I can't talk to girls about girl things. Like I don't like drama and I don't know. I feel like I am just more of a tomboy.
I
guess.
I completely agree. I can't talk to guys. What do guys talk about? They talk about like sports and shit. If you're not talking to me about any kind of martial art, then I don't really have a whole lot to say. And there's a lot of guys. I just don't have a lot of male friends. And the reason for that really is because I meet a lot of cool guys, and it's like, hey, you're cool to, like I said, bullshit with for a few minutes. But I could never imagine, planning on spending an entire evening with you. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, you want to chill tonight? Nathan, we worked out with Nathan today. He's a different story. Me and him get along, and we have spent evenings together, actually hung out. I just don't find a lot of guys that are that are cool enough, in my opinion, that I would occupy an entire evening with them. If that makes sense. Is that how you feel about girls?
I don't know. I need mom friends.
You do need mom friends.
I need mom friends.
Any moms out there, get a hold of us.
That's what I need.
That's what makes your dating life even harder, is having two kids.
Yes.
Which I think is a smaller deal than you
think
that it is.
You think it's a smaller deal.
Yes.
But yeah, at 33, can you expect a girl to have kids and or been married and divorced by then? Probably.
Yeah, for sure. It's more difficult because I've always been
older now, and yeah.
No, you're completely right. Because since I was younger, I've always liked older women. I've done whatever with girls my age or younger, but for the most part, almost every girlfriend I've had has been at least 4 to 5 years older than me. I like women, not girls.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you do.
But so the older we're getting, though, it's no, it is hard to find somebody, and so I'm 30. So if I'm looking for somebody around 30 or 35 or whatever, it is very difficult to find ones that don't have kids.
And don't want kids, because you don't want kids.
And don't want kids. I want the snip. Okay. Sneaky, disgusting. Why do you say it like that? Sneaky, disgusting sperm ruins everything. Doesn't give a shit about your future.
Okay.
It's horrible. So anyway, yeah, we're getting a little off topic here. We are talking about the awkwardness and the anxiety that goes along with starting to talk to a new person and getting through that first date, getting to the first date and then getting through the first date.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because that appears to be what the big struggle is. And I think both men and women share that. I don't have the problem, but a lot of people do.
I don't know, do they? Like, does everyone suffer from that anxiety?
I don't think it's everyone. I'm sure everyone does a little bit, but I mean, some people have more severity than others. I mean, I feel it a little bit, don't get me wrong, but I get excited about it, but you pick up on the vibe from the person from when you first meet them, which unfortunately nowadays mostly isn't in person. It's mostly online. It's Instagram messaging or Facebook or sliding in the DMs, or you're on an app or a dating website or whatever.
And that's all weird to me.
Well,
but it can't be.
Well, it's because it is weird. But you need to find ways to make it work in your favor. It does help out a little bit. The apps I wouldn't recommend for very many people because that doesn't really match you up too much on if your personalities. This is if you're looking for a relationship, mind you. Doesn't match you up too well if you're, if your personalities mesh. It's, are you attractive or are you not?
No, but you have bios on there. You're reading each other's bios and stuff.
Right? A lot of people don't even put shit on their bio. Or it's, but there are helpful things, and you need to stay away from that. So, for me, if I'm not into women with kids, and it says on there, if I'm on whatever Bumble and it's children, it says have and want more. Okay, even if you're hot, I got to swipe the other way. You know what I mean? So it gives you enough information. So I don't know, maybe they're good. I think dating websites are better, ones that people take more seriously.
Have you ever been on a dating website?
No.
Then how can you say?
Because from what I can gather, the way that they're structured is they ask you a tremendous amount of questions, and then they, like I said, they match you up with people who share X amount of your common interests and desires and whatever.
Mm-hmm. I see.
I mean, you can still meet people out, I mean, that definitely happens for sure. It's just the chances of you finding your one and only out and about is probably slim to none. But it does happen. We're not in high school anymore. High school was the shit. All of us were the same age. We all wanted to fuck each other all the time because our hormones were raging like crazy, and we just hung out for 8 straight hours a day. And we were constantly surrounded by people our age, and after work we had no responsibilities unless we had a part-time job or we had homework. Now that you're adults, it's completely different. Nobody even knows where to go to find friends. Most people's friends are either old-time ones that they've had for, since childhood if they live in their hometown still, or it's people that they work with. Because where the fuck else do you go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But as far as, getting over the anxiety of going on a first date, I don't know. My recommendation is just to find a way to become comfortable. So, for men, for example, start with that. If you're not comfortable around women, well, first of all, if you're, they call them fuckboys, right?
Oh yeah, that's a term I heard recently.
You had no idea what it was?
No. Remember, I just watched some TikTok lately.
TikTok.
It was making me laugh, but yeah, that was the first time I heard that reference, and I was like, oh, I get it now. And then it was fuckboys, and then what are girls called? Hoes?
Hoes. I don't know. I don't know if girls are called anything. I think they're kind of exempt from that. I don't think they have a term like that. I've been called the fuck boy for stupid shit I have a bag full of stuff in my bathroom just from past relationships that just got left behind. I have hair ties and bobby pins and even a couple tampons and shit that.
So you look like a little fuckboy.
I do, but the funny part is that most of the time the girls will make some snarky comment about it, right? But then if we see each other, for a couple weeks, you better believe that one night comes where they're like, fuck. And I'm like, what? And they're like, do you have a hair tie? And I'm like, well, yes, I do. Let me go grab that for you. It's brand new, never been used, right under the sink. So I've been called the fuckboy for stuff like that, and plus with my commitment issues that I've had. You know, so I get it. I mean, I understand, but I'm respectful to women, though.
You are very respectful.
I'm not saying that I don't sleep around or anything like that. I'm not going to go as far as to say I don't do stuff like that, but I do treat women with as much respect as I can. And I mean, you and me are both into the emotional side of it, really. And for me, we're honest to God, it's like whether it's real or fake, we're both kind of into that. So it's like if you stay the night with me for the night, you are the love of my life for that night. And that's totally cool with me. And then that's like my fix of that emotional attachment for an evening. But then the long-term commitment isn't really a thought yet.
Right. And you're able to find people that have the same feelings too, right?
What do you mean have the same feelings?
Like, are you able to meet people that feel that way too?
That are okay with the temporary thing? Is that what you're asking? Yes and no. A lot of them say that they are, I guess. But once you have a night like that, though, and it's so fantastic, what do you want to do? You want to see him again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So then that ends up turning into a couple month long thing. And then it ends up splitting off. You know, I mean, as you know, I think I was subconsciously steering myself towards women with kids for a long time just based off the fact that I had an out at any time. You want to talk about a commitment issue, and I would have the talk with them up front. I always have the talk up front, like, hey, we can do this if you want to. And I always say, if you want to, you know what I mean? We can do this and we can hang out and shit. Just letting you know, I don't like kids. I don't think I word it like that. I don't want kids. That's not a lifestyle that I want or anything like that. And everybody seems okay with it at first, and then, you know, a couple
Feelings
weeks
happen.
or a month down. Yeah, and they happen for me too. It's not like I don't have feelings. I'm not a sociopath, you know. And then I'll even get the thought like, hey, maybe I could deal with it, you know. And I try, and then it, I don't know, fails. I remember when you know, the last girl I dated with a kid was, you know, Kate, and we were talking, and I told her when we started, and we really started to like each other, and I told her I'm going to try, but I just told her straight up, like, I'll try, but I will let you down. Like, I can almost guarantee you. You know what I mean? But we were just so obsessed with each other that it didn't matter at the time. You know what I mean? And then that got sad and all that bullshit. But, you know, life happens. Shit happens. So, yeah, I don't know. You meet people, but I don't know. I think the comfort is a huge thing. And you seem to be uncomfortable just solely from being out of the game for so long. It's almost like you just don't know what to do.
I don't. I feel like I don't even know how to talk to people. I get hit on at work, and I don't even know how to talk. I'm like, okay, and then...
But you do know.
You're just practice. Like, I just see it as practice right now.
Yes.
I see me fumbling for words and being awkward is just practice.
Yes. It's repetition. In fact, that's a good piece of advice for men or women. If either a woman or a man seems to be uncomfortable around the other sex or awkward around the opposite sex or whatever, honest to God, a good piece of advice is to just talk to more of them. I don't mean go hit on them or try to get them on dates. Anytime you have the opportunity to talk to a woman, and like I said, this could be a girl that you like, a girl you meet out, you know, wherever you're at. This, again, could be the receptionist at your dentist office. Just talk to them and have a conversation. Just get comfortable speaking to a member of the opposite sex. That'll help out a lot. Then you're not awkward as fuck.
Yeah. But I do, like, my job, I serve, and that is my job. Like, and it always has been. Not always has been, but when I used to serve when I was younger too, like, I feel like I'm just comfortable. I'm used to that kind of thing. But then, yeah, then I get actually hit on and go, duh, 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 duh.
That's a good move. That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Like,
Let's see how that works out for you.
That's why I'm just going to fumble through this for a while.
Exactly. But then, you know, like I said, you'll get used to it over the course of time. A lot of it is repetition, and that's just to make yourself less awkward. I mean, because they probably feel awkward too. Think of it that way.
I'm just not used to being like hit on.
Well, I mean, enjoy it. I mean, congratulations and enjoy it, I guess. I don't know. Take it as a compliment. Have it boost your self-confidence.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know. I like it. But a lot of women don't. A lot of women, like, fear dating and they hate dating. And, I mean, you tell me why, because I don't really know why. Why do you think most women feel that way?
Because the world we live in now, there's so much, I don't know, there's so much like questionable and mistrust and all kinds of stuff because you don't really know the person and you don't know how many people they're talking to. You don't know really anything about someone now.
That's
It's just more available.
Yes.
People are more available to people online. And that's like, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, I understand. I get what you're saying. That's a very fair point. If you meet somebody who's even halfway cool and you think that you're the only person they're talking to, go fucking play out in the middle of Main Street because you're an idiot. You know what I mean? And that's just at first.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody's talking to more than one person at a time. It's very, very few and far between. So, I mean, that goes along with, you know, taking things slow, too, in the beginning is what I advise. And, you know, just be upfront and honest if you are talking to people.
That's the thing. I don't have a desire to talk to more than one person at a time.
That's good. That's great.
And that's where we're different, I feel like.
Well,
or not different, but...
I'll gear that specifically towards you then. If you get hit on at work, the guy seems super cool, and you're attracted to him, and he has a good personality and all that, just assume that you're not the only person he's talking to.
Well, yeah.
At that time. That doesn't mean that he's fucking somebody else, or that, I mean, he might be. He also might be married or engaged or whatever. That's huge. Mackenzie Cordia, I'll give you a shout out, because you get Facebook messages out the ass from married men. So, I mean, that shit happens. But that's, you know, like I said, that's why you take it slow. But I'm just saying, don't expect that you're the only one that they're talking to at that time. And then if you give it a couple weeks and you get to know each other or whatever, then you can have that conversation, you know, like I had with Amy, you know, whenever we started talking. And I knew right off that, like, Amy was super hot and she was super cool. I never saw her mad or upset. She's the happiest person I've ever met. She never wanted to fight. She was always in a good mood. She was an absolute fucking angel. I can't think of a single solitary bad thing to say about her. So with that being said, when me and her started talking, I knew that I wasn't the only one. There's absolutely no way. And she wasn't the only one for me. But a couple weeks went by and we were starting to really like each other, so I did have a talk with her. Not a talk, more of a statement, and I just let her know, you know, hey, I'm not asking you to do this because we're not, you know, whatever, that serious or official yet, but I'm just letting you know any other women that were around I've dismissed because I want to focus on you. And she basically didn't even really respond. And then, like, I think it was 2 days later, maybe, she came to me and said the exact same thing, that she's dismissed the other guys that she's been talking to.
I like that. Dismissed.
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 Yeah. She dismissed her selects.
Dismissed the selects.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody's different. I think it's fun. Everybody's different. Everybody talks about different shit, and, you know, I mean, I don't know. The reason that I have so
But
many...
you're also a single male that has time to do that.
Yes.
I'm a single mom.
Right.
That works when she doesn't have her kids.
It's only temporary until you get on a regular schedule. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely more challenging for single parents in general.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to work when they don't have their kids. And then when they do have their kids, they have their kids. So it's definitely a challenge. But, I mean, not many people are like me. If everybody thought like me, there'd be no humans. You know what I mean? We would just go extinct because no babies would ever be made. So there's tons of people that love kids or can't have kids of their own, or just don't mind the stepdad role. I'll give Mackenzie Cordray another shout out. Her dream is to be a fucking stepmom, you fucking weirdo. That's what she wants, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are totally into it and they like kids, and so I don't think it's as big of a struggle as you think it is.
I'm making it out to be. Yeah.
Making it out to be, exactly. You're making it out to be a little bit worse than it is, because most people don't care, or most people, again, too, keep in mind that at your age and our age, I mean, we're 3 years apart, so I'm 30, you're 33. Most people we meet have kids, so there's actually a pretty good chance that if you do meet a guy who's single, chances are he probably does have kids.
True.
You know, so keep that shit in mind too.
Thanks for getting me pumped up.
You don't look very pumped up. I know you can't. Well, we had a super hard workout. We went and worked out this morning. Now the energy's starting to drain. But we tried doing this podcast last night, and it got all fucked up. So we're getting it in while we can now. So yeah. I don't know. Dating. I have lots of pieces of advice. I mean, I don't want to say good at it, but I enjoy it, which I guess makes me good at it. And a lot of it is building a comfort level, which is more on the male side. Because if you can make a woman comfortable, that's huge. That's gigantic. And like I said, I have a little bit of an advantage of being, raised with two women. But it's not fucking hard to figure out. If you're male, like I said, go talk to as many women as you can. If you do meet a girl and you like her, don't put her in a binary situation where she has to answer yes or no. Something I've always done that I've been successful with, I cannot tell you the last time that I asked for a girl's phone number. I give them, and I want your perspective on this, Stacy, because I want to see how you feel about it, because you like to be pursued, which a lot of women like to be pursued, right? But I can't tell you the last time that I asked for a girl's number. I give them my phone number, so that way I am pursuing them. They know that I'm interested. They know that I want to talk to them, but I'm not putting you in a spot where you're uncomfortable because you either need to make up some lie about having a boy. If you're not into me at all, you're making up some lie about having a boyfriend, or you give me a fake number, which has never happened, but that happens. Or you give somebody your number just on the spot because you're caught off guard, even though you didn't really want to talk to them at all. So that's one thing that's been super successful, is me giving out my number rather than asking for their number. I think that kills two birds with one stone. It lets them know that I'm interested, and it also gives them the comfort, I'm going to keep going back to that word, gives them the comfort of knowing that if they want to reach out, they can, and if not, they don't have to, and I'm not going to bother them if they don't.
Right.
What's your perspective on that? Because like I said, you're the kind that likes to be pursued.
I am, and I had never, until recently, had a guy give me his number, and he did, and he wrote it on a napkin, and he was a very handsome man.
Very handsome man.
Very handsome man.
That's an inside. I didn't mean to get racist with that. That's an inside family joke. Gosh. Continue.
He was really a nice guy, but I just never texted. I never texted him. I never did anything with it.
So was that good in your opinion? Because, like I said, you knew that he was interested in you, so he was pursuing you?
That's what I'm thinking now. If he would have even asked for my number, I probably would have been awkward.
So that's good then, right? That's a good thing to do?
I guess, yeah.
I think so too. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And a lot of girls are super open. A lot of them are all about that. There's different types of women. A lot of them are more comfortable around men and more, I don't know, kind of more like the party type, I guess, for lack of better words. But those are the girls that are be like, here, take my number and this, that, and the other. So yeah, I don't know. We can wrap this one up. I don't know how much this helped, but I don't know.
But you got good advice there.
Well, thank you. So I don't know. If anybody has any questions, reach out, comment below. This will be on YouTube. We'll comment below, if anybody wants any dating advice and or just has any questions in general, I'd be happy to try to answer them for you. We wanted to go longer. We have to cut this short. I apologize. We'll do another one here in the near future. Brother out.
Sister out.
Bye, everybody.